Riding Lights Theatre Company presents Wordplay. Season 1, The Passion. Episode 1, The Owner. Come with me now. Come with yourself. Come with your uncertainty and whatever else you care to bring. Come with me back to Jerusalem when the desert dust was younger than it is now. A merchant is there with a donkey and saddlebags of fruit. See her there, burnt by the sun and ready to speak, ready on a Sunday to tell her tale.
What do you do when the world is burning? What are you supposed to do? My son, Josiah, he's eating pomegranates with me by the Damascus gate. We're eating them from a sack when a soldier, a son of Rome, knocks him into the dirt and takes them. Eats them, and then spits the seeds back in my son's face.
That's for you,
says the soldier, looking at me, wanting me to get angry, to do something. What am I supposed to do? Shout? Strike the soldier? End up on a cross? So I do the only thing I can. I shut my trap and I look down at the dust. I wish the soldiers were dust. I wish the Messiah would come and grind Rome into the dust. I shut my mouth, but my heart is calling out loudly to God. Why? Why have you forsaken us? Why do you let them do this? And my son is crying, and the soldier has gone. Everyone is watching, but no one does a thing. Because yesterday it was them, and tomorrow it will be someone else. And who cares about us? Because caring about us doesn't change a damn thing anyway. They live by the sword and we die by it. Everyone looks at the dust. We at the dust. And Rome wipes us off their shoes at every opportunity. My son's face is covered in pomegranate juice, and for a sharp moment I think it's blood. And then I begin to weep.
Out of the way there!
And I see Caiaphas, the high priest, the holy priest, the rich priest, violet robes, rings of gold. He's with the soldiers, or the soldiers are with him. I can't tell who's in charge, legionnaire or Levite. They're all together moving through the city, off to Pilate's house for preparations. I can't tell who's the head and who's the tail. Rome, the priests, Herod. They're all part of the same damn dog. The dog that bites. They all move past and Caiaphas says,
"Watch my robe."
And another priest lifts the hem of his garment so that it's not stained as they tread over our pomegranates. Then they are gone. Gone because the governor of all Judea is coming. He comes every Passover because every Passover Rome has to make its point. They are to come. The imperial cavalry. 120 horses, swords, spears, armed to the teeth. The governor comes through the west gate. He's all fresh from sunning himself on his beach in Caesarea with Herod. He only comes here to make his point. And his point is the end of a sword. And I want the Messiah to come. I want him to break the swords of the empire. And I'm supposed to bring fruit. Not just pomegranates, but figs and grapes and Jerusalem cherries. I'm to load up my donkey and bring them to the garrison to feed the extra men. I asked for money, but I know I'll not get it. It's my contribution for peace. I must feed the soldiers who spit in my son's face if I want peace. It's my tax, and I'll pay it in service. Or I'll pay it in blood, but either way, it will be paid. And it's the morning of Rome's triumphal entry, and I'm up before the cock for I've work that needs to be done. I have a donkey and her colt outside my workshop. I'm inside and I'm packing fruit for the soldiers when she brays. Not her normal bray, for she's not happy at the best of times, but I can tell she's upset. So I'm out to see what's going on. And there's a fella there, big, workman by the looks of him, and he's taking the donkey and her colt. And I fetch my club, for though I don't dare touch a Roman soldier, I'll not blink twice before I break a robber's head. And I say to him, "What are you doing? Why are you untying my colt?" For at that moment, he had hold of the young colt, knowing that the colt's mother would more likely follow him if he's got hands on the young one first. 2 for the price of 1. And I come for him, club in hand. Though he's a big man and I don't fancy my chances. The big fella turns and his shoulders block out the morning sun, so I can see him now. And he's looking at me, and he don't say but 4 words.
"The Lord needs it."
And I know when fruit is ripe without even giving it a squeeze. I know inside, but I say nothing. I just calm the mother. And I hand it to the man with fisherman's hands. And he nods, and he goes. And I'm thinking, I know who it's for. It's for him, the man from Galilee that everyone knows. And everyone knows nothing but trouble comes from Galilee. And I'm thinking, he's going to bring his trouble right into Jerusalem, right on the same day as Pontius Pilate parades in. And I was right. 2 parades come. Pilate comes through the west gate, all swords and spears. He comes on his war horse. The Galilean, Jesus, he comes through the east gate, the mercy gate, on my donkey. He rides the mother over the hard ground and switches to my colt once the Jerusalem road gets smooth. And the crowds are coming to him and throwing palm branches like for victory. They're calling him Son of David like he's a king. They're calling him prophet. Worse, they're calling him Messiah. Because this is a 2-dog fight. Rome from the west, the Messiah from the east. And some think maybe we don't need to keep quiet and look at the dust no more. Not with Messiah showing up. But I think he's stirring the pot, taking the mick out of Pilate himself. A joke. But it's not funny. Not when the punchline will get us killed. So he ties up my colt, goes into town and then heads right to the temple for a sniff around. As if he hasn't already made his point. Fat-fingered Caiaphas probably had a wobbly, because having the Messiah on your doorstep, just when you're eating my pomegranates at a welcome feast with the Roman governor, is not a good look. And I think, it's my donkey. It's my colt. I'm the first one for it. It's late that night, and I'm holding my boy and I'm wondering what I've got myself into. Wondering when the soldiers will come. And there's a knock at night. I'm sweating it. Should I run? Maybe I can talk my way out of it. I open the door expecting the Romans, but it's him. He's come, tied up the donkey and my colt himself, feeding them with a little hay, as natural as if he was born in a barn. I say to him, "Do you know what you're doing?" For he's gentle looking up close, innocent. And I think, he don't know what he's got himself into. "Go on," I say. "Get out of town while you can. There's still time." And he don't say anything. But I'd be lying if I didn't think that for a moment under that moonlight, he weren't tempted. "Thank you," he says, stroking the mother's head. And I think, poor lamb. So I take his hand and I place it on the back of the mother. I say, "Do you see that? On the donkey's back?" And he doesn't. So I take his other hand, carpenter's hands, and I put them both on the dark stripe that runs down the mother's back. 2 dark stripes of fur, one down the spine and the other spans its shoulders. And I say to him, "My donkey has a cross on her back, and you'll have one on yours if you don't get out of town now. Let me pack you some fruit, and you can take her and you can go. Go, now." And he does. He goes. The wrong way. Right back into Jerusalem. And I think, if there weren't enough trouble before, there'll be plenty now. He's coming for 'em. And now, there'll be hell to pay.
This podcast is brought to you by Riding Lights Theatre Company. We are a charity that since 1977 has brought unforgettable, entertaining theatre to places theatre doesn't usually go. Churches, schools, prisons, community centres, even on the street. We rely on the financial and prayerful support of our members to keep our work alive and viable. We make theatre that makes a difference, and we need your help to keep doing that. If you'd like to make our theatre company your theatre company, consider becoming a Riding Lights member by visiting www.ridinglights.org or donating via the link on the show notes of this podcast. Riding Lights, using drama to change lives, one story at a time.